Okay, when you get ready to solder, you're going to go back to the soldering station in the back of the room, and what you're going to see is we have our torch area and we have a stand to solder on. The pieces of metal that I'm going to solder are placed on top of this kiln brick. The kiln brick radiates heat back into the metal to keep everything hot and warm. When you solder, the thing that you have to understand is that you're not melting the solder, you're heating up the metal to the point where the solder melts around the metal. So by having it on this kiln brick, it's going to help aid that process of keeping everything hot. The soldering torches are here. We have two of them. There's two components to this. There is a torch head, which I have right here. And you'll see on the torch head there are two handles, a red handle and a green one. The red handle is the gas, the green handle is the oxygen, and it is righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. So you turn to the left counterclockwise to open it up, you turn to the right clockwise to close it. The torch, the second part of the torch are the tanks and the regulators. That's what this is called here. The regulators have gauges on them that tell you the amount of pressure that the gas or the oxygen is at, and there's an on-off valve as well. So the on-off valve for the gas, which is always indicated as red, which it has the red tube, the red regulator is here. I'm going to turn this to the left again to turn it on. Then the oxygen, I'm going to turn again to the left to turn it on, and you'll see the pressure spike on these tanks. You do not have to keep turning it, it just needs a little quarter of a turn on the gas and about a half of a turn on the oxygen. To ignite this, you're going to need a striker, and what this does is it causes sparks that will ignite the gas when I put the two together. I'm going to start by turning the gas to the left slightly, and when I hear the gas coming out, I will strike it and start the flame. Then I'm going to back this off by tightening it up so that it's not quite as intense, and then I'm going to slowly add oxygen to it until the flame gets to a little tiny tip. It's hard for you to see it with the exposure, so let me turn this down a little bit. What you're seeing when I turn the exposure down is that there's a little tiny blue flame at the very tip right here. That is a good neutral flame. Now, the reason why this is spreading out like it is and not creating one solid stream of heat is there's a little bit of carbon scoring on this tip that's been damaged a little bit, so it's not quite as clean as we'd like it, but it'll still work. When you shut off the valves, you do it in the opposite direction, so I turn the oxygen off first and then the gas. And that's it. That's how you light the or strike the torch. Please make sure that the on switch, which is not on right now, but that the on switch over here is on, which turns the vent on and vents all the fumes and smoke away when you're doing that.